Pearl millet is a revolutionary crop that is making waves in agriculture. Known for its nutritional benefits and climate resilience, pearl millet is a small grain that is actually very big on goodness and offers the farmers the option to grow it as a cash crop. I had the privilege of speaking with Dr. Alleviate Tsindi, a crop breeder with the International Crop Research Institute for the Semi-Arid Tropics, also known as ICRISAT. ICRISAT is leading an initiative to actually breed better varieties of pearl millet. You notice that many people, well, talking of Zimbabwe, maize is a staple. We enjoy our maize, anyhow in many different forms. Talk to me about how is this biofortification of pearl millet going to actually, one, raise interest, in the consumption of pearl millet, for these nutrients that you are going to be, looking at improving in the pearl millet, and also two, how accessible, these varieties of the pearl millet that are biofortified.
You would realize that, yes, maize is the staple food for Zimbabwe. But over the years, you've realized also that with climate change, maize is really being affected. Maize production is really affected, especially in the semi-arid tropics of Zimbabwe. You'd realize that very few farmers are doing well in terms of maize. If they manage to grow maize, the productivity is very low. But with pearl millet, in these semi-arid tropics of Zimbabwe, we are talking about region 4 and 5, pearl millet really does very well. It is very drought tolerant. It can do very well under very minimum condition. So we're hoping that because even other areas which used to have good rains before, the pattern of rains is shifting. So there could be also interest in those areas to grow this hardy crop. And also with the thrust of the government to go traditional, which is actually more yielding in the drought-prone areas. We're hoping that the interest among farmers would actually get traction. Farmers would actually start to appreciate the importance of this crop that they were actually neglecting for some time now, when we've seen people going back bit by bit. So with the addition of the high yields plus the nutrients, farmers would actually benefit, and interest is there among farmers to get up these, or to start growing these varieties. And to tell you, once we roll out the varieties, once we release, we are hoping that we would work with small farmers at the village level so that this seed is available to even the remotest region of the country. Well, we are going to involve even private companies. We are also going to involve communities and the small villages for the seed production, so that it gets available every corner of Zimbabwe, so that people can actually grow this crop. Even in high potential regions, the crop can still do well to boost the food security from the household level, village level, at national level. This would actually contribute to food and nutrition security.
What are the benefits, for farmers actually in growing, this improved pearl millet varieties, in terms of, like, you already mentioned that there's high yields. What about, the issue of, how you actually grow the crop, maybe even resistance to diseases? What are the other benefits that this crop would have?
We've been working on several traits for the crop. The yields are improved. In terms of disease and pests, they're also improved. These cannot be attacked by several diseases and pests. In terms of the nutrients, we said we have improved. In terms of even climate adaptability or drought resistance, you would see that these varieties have also been improved for drought. They are more hardy than the previous varieties. So they come with a package or a whole lot of other improved traits, such that a farmer, when a farmer goes into the field, they smile. They see a good variety. They see, even before they harvest, they see nutrients. They see everything in this variety. So it's a whole lot of packaged variety with a lot of benefits to the farmer.
How did you actually involve in farmers in actually coming up with these varieties? Or did you consult any farmers, and what were they actually looking for?
Well, our breeding is actually demand-led. We talk to farmers before we do the breeding. Hear from them what are some of their priorities. What are their preferences in terms of a wholesome variety? So these are some, when you see us this far, it means we've talked to the farmers. We've heard what they are saying. Hence, this breeding or biofortification is also from the farmers. They've talked about it. They've talked about whole other traits that we've already worked on. So this is just an improvement of the previous varieties that we had bred. We have included other traits. So yes, farmers have been involved. Once we get that feedback, we sit down, do the breeding, do the different combinations. Then we start testing. During testing, we also involve the farmers. We do demonstration plots. We give them trials to see. And they do what we call participatory variety selection. So what we release is not ours. It's according to the farmers. They would have selected these varieties. We involve farmers across country, different regions, especially the semi-arid regions. So yes, we now consolidate the results that we get from on-station results and on-farm. The on-farm is the participatory variety selection process with the farmers. So once we consolidate that, we include that feedback and put in one and release the variety that is suitable for the farmers with all the traits that we would have.
Many a time farmers actually use their farmer-saved seed in many a time that at each cropping season. These varieties that you're actually going to release, are they varieties that farmers will be buying every season, or they can actually retain after they've actually produced their P Millet?
Yes, these seeds can be saved by farmers because they are the ones that we're going to release are open pollinated varieties. So farmers can recycle the seed for as long as they are able to get good quality seed. These can be saved, exchanged amongst themselves, even sell at that local level. Yes, so these OPVs are going to be, they can be recycled. But for the hybrids, which is not the focus of this project for now, hybrids are the ones that they cannot recycle year after year. They need to buy new seed because for every generation they recycle, the yield tends to reduce. But for the open pollinated varieties, which are the ones that we are focusing for the biofortification, what we call nutrient-dense varieties, then can recycle.
Yeah. How soon can we see this seed actually being in the farmer's hands?
Yes, according to our plans, we are planning to release the varieties next year. And alongside, as we release, we will also be doing the seed multiplication so that by the end of next year and the 2026, the farmers should be getting this seed on the market for production. Yes, so let them get ready. And even next year, as we will be doing the final trials and the final touches, we'll actually be testing with the farmers. So farmers get to see the varieties, get to select the best varieties they think we should release to the market. So, but in terms of commercial production, let's say 2026, we should be having this on the market.
Farmers have shied away from growing more of the pearl millet, citing the labor involved in growing as well as processing the crop. I asked Dr. Albert Tsindi what has been considered in terms of breeding the better varieties of pearl millet when it comes to the labor that farmers cite as a problem.
One of the major challenges that farmers were talking about for leaving this crop is the processing. So that processing now, because they want to mill it.
Okay. So given that challenge, what have you incorporated that into the breeding, the breeding that you're actually working on?
Yeah, for example, easy to mill or easy to thresh varieties and so on. We are incorporating, but we also have this side of trying to reduce the drudgery by introducing technology in terms of threshing, processing, and so that that hard labor is also reduced, so that actually farmers can see it as a better crop now than before. Yeah. Farmers usually dehull manually and so on and come to this one. But with technology now, we have this one, because previously we used to have dehallers for maize only. But this one now can do dehulling. Instead of you pounding manually, we can now use this one. You get your dehulled grain, then you can do the straight line. From the field now, before we take it there to the milling, I remember I saying threshing. This is one of the hard processing that farmers usually want to do away with. So in terms of threshing, these are the machines that we have been fabricating. These three can work for pearl millet. We have others which are fabricated locally. And already ICRISAT has been implementing the project of distributing these locally fabricated to farmers, and they've been using them.
Cultivation of iron-rich pearl millet presents a remarkable opportunity for farmers and consumers. As a farmer, choosing to grow pearl millet during your next cropping season presents an opportunity for profitability as well as enhancing the nutrition of your community. For consumers, choosing pearl millet next time you buy milli at your supermarket, not only is it an opportunity to improve nutritional outcomes, but also to get a balanced diet. Join me, Busani Bafana, on Agriculture on Site every Wednesday, as we explore ways of actually improving agricultural practices as well as nutritional choices. Do not forget to follow us on all our social media platforms at Cite ZW to stay engaged in this important conversation.